And as a member of the majority in November, I look forward to helping you implement your agenda.
Amen.
We will have the majority in November. It's time. We're due. Thank you all for being here. I will say this. I have been here before for a fundraiser. For me, it wasn't nearly as well attended. So I'm not as popular as this guy, but obviously it's his home. Thank you for opening your home to yourself. I usually am thanking him for opening his home to me, but really thank you all for coming, because you've come from a lot of different places, from a lot of different counties, folks from Far East and folks from south of here, and some from west of here. Some of you are actually able to vote for him, but so many of you are supporting him. And thank you for being here, and spread the word, because we're in the home stretch. We truly are now in the home stretch. What do we have, 40 days? How many days do we have? 39 days. We've just crossed into the 30s now. So 39 days. Think about that. 39 days from now, you're going to choose in the 81st District your next state representative. And I'll tell you, I've known Wes Morgan for quite some time. We got to know each other, I don't know, it's a couple of years and change now at least. We've spent a fair bit of time running around some of the hinter regions of the Commonwealth, and we've had some good times doing it, and met some interesting people and had some good conversations. You've been a dear friend for a long time, and it's so easy for me to support people that are good people, and that are not professional politicians, that are not politically correct at every turn, and not trying to do everything to not offend. It isn't that he's trying to offend people, he's just trying to do what's right. And this is what we need: more men and women who actually have the intestinal fortitude to just do the right thing. Stop blowing smoke and stop sugarcoating things and stop faking everything to try to make it look like you're doing it. I will say this about Wes Morgan. I try to be as diplomatic as I can be, and he's a little less diplomatic than I will just say, he's not shy about telling you what he believes. And that's a good thing, because as Representative Moffitt just said, I mean, we've got to have people that will fight for us, people that are conservative. Who else is in here that's running? I see Ken Kearns is running. Phil's running again, but you don't have anybody this time.
I don't. I'm going to win this.
That's awesome. You've done something right when they don't even dare to run against you. That's when you know you've won. Ken is running, Wes is running. Who else? Anyone else in here? Any other reps that are in here that I missed? Thank you all for coming to be here to support guys like this. I'm truly grateful to you. I don't need to sit here. I'm happy to answer questions in a bit. In fact, what I'll do is introduce Wesley in just a second. Let him speak about why we need him in the 81st. And then he and I will sit here and take whatever questions you like. But I will just simply ask a couple things of you. I will ask you, please have a sense of urgency like you've never had before for the next 39 days. I mean, like a crazy sense of urgency. Because if you had told us 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 2 years ago, or even a year ago, that we would be fighting against the federal government over things like who uses which locker rooms in our public schools, we would have laughed. We would have said, what? Silliness. The kind of nonsense that now passes for supposedly enlightened thinking is insane in America. And it is not something that is a game. It's not something we can just cavalierly dismiss and be flippant about. There are people that are very intentional about transforming America, truly transforming America in ways that, frankly, none of us, or very few of us, or probably none of us, would ever recognize. It's crazy what's happening to this country. And if what's going to stand in the gap, I mean, how you think about it, for the Sydneys of the world, where is, and see how he worked you right in there, trying to be all subtle there. For anonymity there, young lady. But you think of this next generation, they're counting on us, literally. And we're squandering their futures. We are, sadly. And by we, I mean the collective American we that is apathetic and that has given up on taking responsibility for our actions and those of our own families. And we have a responsibility. You hear people talk a lot about being at a crossroads, like we have lots of options. We don't. We're at a fork in the road. And we're going one way or we're going the other way, and that's where we are. And right now, we're not trending in a good direction. And what's going to take it back is people that are willing to stand in the gap. What's going to take it back is people that are actually willing to step up and not always try to be perfectly correct to everybody, not try to please everybody all the time. Because you think about this, I mean, it's biblical. Christ himself said, woe to he who is, and I'm misquoting him, but woe to him that everybody loves, basically. You can't make everybody happy all the time. I've been governor for 10 months, and I am quite confident I've not made everybody happy. I'm pretty sure of that one. I'm not on a limb there, but I'm pretty sure of that one. I know there's one squirrely little fellow who lives down the hall from me that is not overly happy on a regular basis. He whines a lot, but that's all good. Here's the reality. We have the momentum. We have the right ideas. We have the right policies. We stand on the same Judeo-Christian principles and the work ethic and the respect for the Constitution and the respect for liberty and the respect for the self-authority that comes from being a self-governed people. These are the things we believe in, for allowing people to keep as much of their own money as possible. This is who we are. How can we not win? And we're blessed to be Kentuckians. We're blessed to be here at a time and a place, at this fork in the road, where we can ensure that we go to the right. And by right, I mean the right direction as opposed to the wrong direction. And I will say this. What I respect about Wes is the fact that he is, as was noted by Phil, he's a conservative. There are fewer and fewer conservatives in either party. This is not an R thing or a D thing. It's not. And I know in this room, you don't get this many people assembled in any room in Kentucky without a good number of R's and D's alike. And I'm sure there are plenty of Democrats here, and I would speak to those of you and to those of your friends who say, Mama and Papa would roll over in their grave. And no, they won't. Okay, they won't. Mama and Papa will be all right. And I encourage you in all seriousness to vote your values and not your party. It is time for Americans to vote their values, and we need conservatives. And these days, sadly, in Kentucky, the only people running who are conservatives do happen to be Republicans in these House races. That's a fact. There is no Republican-Democrat race in the state, not one where the Democrat is the conservative person. There's not. And that is just the reality. So it does make it simple, even though it's not, doesn't need to be an R thing or a D thing. It's simple that in this case, voting Republican gives you the most conservative option. It just does. And we've got to get conservatives, business people, for the crying out loud. I mean, this is a guy who has served this nation as a public servant in a whole variety of... I mean, I've never met a guy who had more cool jobs than Wes Morgan. I mean, seriously. I mean, he's had more cool jobs doing kind of stealthy things for the federal government at a variety of levels, Secret Service and ATF and different things of that sort, but also didn't just rest on his laurels and clip coupons with a government retirement check. He's a business guy. He employs people. He invests his own capital. This is what we need. And this is why I'm happy, and I'm going to come back and say one thing in the end, but I'm happy to introduce to you the next state representative in the 81st District, Wesley Morton.
Thank you for your donations. Thank you, Governor Bevin, for being here.
You're welcome. And let me say one more thing. Before we disperse here, I want to draw your attention to two things. Some of you may have just seen a lot of cars turning up here in balloons and said, hey, it looks like a party, and you just ended up here by accident. If that happens to be you, you can write a check to this guy. If you came here on purpose intending to write a check but haven't yet written the check, you can write a check to this guy. And again, understand this, you're not writing it to Wes. Wes doesn't need your dollars personally. He doesn't. I mean, for crying out loud. But the bottom line, and I mean this sincerely, what are we doing? We're investing in conservatism. We're investing in liberty. We're investing in the values that made America great. That's what we're investing in. We're investing in the principles that he is literally willing to give up his retirement to fight for. That's what we're investing in. So if you've given him a check, but you could write a bigger check, please do it. Because I'm telling you, we're heading into the home stretch where you give him $100, and that $100 buys yard signs, and it buys bumper stickers, and it buys a variety of different things. And it's interesting. I don't know what I did with my I had a bumper sticker somewhere. Where are those bumper stickers? Somebody give me a bumper sticker. Because here, thank you. Here's one right here. I got here after almost all of you. And I'm just saying, there's a lot of naked bumpers out there. A lot of naked bumpers. And I'm not kidding. And saying, you're not all from away. All right? Some of you are from right here. This is what I'm asking you to do. Please, write a check, first of all. Write a bigger check than you've probably written already, unless you've maxed out. Write a bigger check, because here's what can happen. That money can be matched. The state can match those dollars and allow him to employ them. There is no substitute for these young people here from the bottom up. And this is where I want to challenge each of you. Door knock like you've never door knocked. Don't just rely on them. Knock on your own doors. Talk to people this weekend. Talk to people at church. Talk to people at work. Talk to people in your own families. Encourage them to get out and vote. Remind them there's actually an election going on. So knock doors, make phone calls, social media. How many of you own one of these? How many of you own one of these? Pretty much everybody. All right, exactly. This is participation time. You remember me. So you own one of these. Two things I want to tell you. Number one, this is more powerful than the Herald Leader or the Courier Journal or any local paper. Bar none. This is the most powerful means of communication that exists, and you have one in your own pocket. Take a picture with Wesley tonight. Take a picture underneath the banner in the other room and put it on your Facebook page. Put it out on Facebook. Say, I'm voting for Wesley Morgan in the 81st District. This is how word gets around. If everyone in this room, there's got to be 50, 60, 70, how many people? We got dozens and dozens and dozens of people. Let's just, 125, thank you, if they're all around the corner. So let's say 100 to make the math easy. Humor me. So if it's 100 people, and every one of us touched 10 people, if everybody that we touched then touched 10 people, that is more votes than he's going to get times a ton. If every one of us literally inspired 10 people to vote, there's 1,000 votes right there. If those people each touched just 10 other people, that's 10,000 voters. Think about that. That's 10,000 voters. That's 80% of every Republican in this state. And again, if we ask people to vote their values and not their party, it doesn't matter whether they're a Republican or Democrat. There are plenty of Democrats that are weary of not being well served in Frankfurt. So there's two things I want to ask you to do. Number one is get one of these and put it on. I know some of you, I saw your nice cars and they're so clean and they're nice and you're proud that you've never put one of these on, aren't you? How many of you have never put a bumper sticker on your car and you're a little bit proud of it? Exactly. All right. There's a few of you. All right. So for you, okay. So here we have tonight. For you, listen up, and there's others of you that did not want to raise your hand, but I saw your bumper. So, tonight, and tonight only, Wesley Morgan is willing to offer you a 39-day risk-free trial. Risk-free. Risk-free. There's no cost to you after you've made your contribution. Of course, there's no cost to you. You don't have to return it. You don't have to fill out a satisfaction form. If you are not completely satisfied in 39 days, you just take it off and throw it away. You don't even need to return it. But here's the thing. I think you'll be satisfied because in 39 days on your vehicle, you're going to have the name of your state representative. The last thing I want to encourage you to do is this. Talk to the people who say, well, Rita's been with us forever. We like Rita. She's a nice person. There are people that say that. And you know what? She is a nice person. This isn't about who's nice and who's not nice. How many of you have one of these? Again, participation time. Who has a phone here? All right? Everybody, pretty much. How many of you still have a flip phone? Okay. What are our non-bumper sticker friends? But so one. All right? How many of you used to have a flip phone? Okay, pretty much everyone else. Why do you not have it? Did you not like it? No, you loved it. I had one. I loved it. I loved my flip phone. It was comfortable. I knew how it worked. I really liked it. I thought long and hard about whether I should get rid of it. It was nice. I was comfortable with it. It had been around a long time. I still have it. It's in the drawer. Every now and then I charge it up just to see if it still does turn on, and it does. I like it. I didn't get rid of it. I didn't throw it away. It still lives in my community. But guess what? It was time for an upgrade. Okay, this is your upgrade in the 81st District. Nita Smart, God bless her, she's a flip phone. Leslie Morgan is a smartphone. I'm going to say one more thing for the bumper sticker skeptics, because I know some of you are still not convinced. Some of you, because there's 18,000 Democrats and only 12,000 Republicans, some of you are the only Republican, and you don't even admit it, in your family. So Sunday dinner is going to be a problem if you pull in with this on your car. I understand that. So I'm going to offer you a suggestion. You can take little rolls of Scotch tape, and you put it right here in the corners, and then you just stick it up inside the glass. Stick it up in there, you ride around, and when you go visit the in-laws, you just take it off if you please, and then just stick it back up, because literally there's $400 worth of marketing value in a single bumper sticker. This thing might cost 50 cents or $1. It's literally worth $400 worth of marketing. So then please put one of these on the glass, inside or outside, put it on the bumper. Please really do take one. Really do use it. If you have another vehicle, put it on there too. Get the signs. Have you got some signs still here? Take signs and take them home and put them somewhere. Put them in your own yard, ideally. Don't just stick them in a neighbor's yard that'll get mad and throw it away. Although that's fun, especially if you have binoculars and can watch their reaction to it. Hypothetically, I've done something like that before. But I would just say, it's a purely hypothetical in case this is being filmed here. But here's what I will say in all seriousness. You also find a good place to put it on a corner somewhere. Have a good place to put it where it's frankly hard to take it down. Sometimes for you younger people, climb up a little embankment and plant it. Because guess what? Your average snarky person who wants it gone isn't going to climb up there and take it down. So find places to put them. Let them pop up in these last 39 days like little flowers in the springtime. Blanket this district with Wesley Morgan for State House signs. That's how we're going to win. Bottom up, grassroots, there's no substitute for it. This is the man. Write a check, take a bumper sticker, put out a yard sign, elect him. I need the help. Thank you.